Hey everyone! In this video I will show you 5 free tools that help me when I'm developing e-learning content. These are little helpers you can use in your production process. Not all of them are e-learning specific, but all of them make my work a little bit easier. Whether you want to conceptualize a course, improve your visualizations with word clouds, save time in your general workflow, or troubleshoot reporting problems with your LMS, there are apps and websites that can help you do just that without costing anything. Now please keep in mind that some of these tools are freemium, so they might have limited features in the free version. So the first tool I will show you is called Padlet. Padlet is a virtual bulletin board where you can upload, organize and share content. Padlet has been around for quite some time, but has seen a noticeable increase in users during the pandemic. Mostly because teachers used it to structure remote learning activities for their students. If you work in e-learning, you could use Padlet as a way of collaborating with your SMEs, your subject matter experts, or within your team. With Padlet, you can collect ideas or work together on topics like the objectives for an e-learning module. To start using Padlet, you just go to padlet.com and sign up. When you start a new Padlet, you first choose a style. I have experimented with a few of these, but I suggest you try them out and see what works best for you. For example, let's say you have a large e-learning course and you're looking to distribute learning objectives or topics among several modules. You could use the shelf style to structure your content that way, like I did here for another project. Padlet lets you invite collaborators, and after they access your Padlet, you can all start adding content like text, web links, photos and more. In the free version, the number of Padlets you can make is limited to 3. What I like especially about Padlet is the collaborative aspect and the many design options within Padlet. Another tool that I think you should know is AddWordle, which is a word cloud generator. Word clouds visualize the word frequencies in texts. In an e-learning context, you could use a word cloud to visualize different subjects that will be covered in your course, or maybe you use it to visualize feedback or brainstorming results you have received. I also like to use it in cases where there aren't many photos or other graphics available for my subject. To start using AddWordle, go to addwordle.net. Click on Create Now and insert text. I will use the script for this video. Hit the Generate button to see the result with the default options. Now you have numerous options to tweak your cloud the way you like. You can change the colors of the text, the font, delete certain words and more. If you want all of your words to be in one color, mark all words, click on Words List, click on the color code, and now you have many ways to choose the color, like entering hex or RGB codes. You could also assign different colored areas this way. To save the cloud, click on File and Save Image. Notice that you can save your edit data as well and load it again later in case you need to change something. Now there are many word cloud generators out there, but I like AddWordle especially because it is free to use for any purpose, so you can use it commercially. You may find other generators that are easier to use or have visually more pleasing results, but often these are limited in other ways, and the permission to use for any purpose beats them all in my opinion. The next tool is called Ditto. Now, we are all working creatively, but sometimes we have to do some repetitive tasks, like copying and pasting text from a script or storyboard to our e-learning software, for example narration or slide titles. When working with your standard copy and paste, you might have noticed that you only have one element in your clipboard. But what if you want to paste something you have copied earlier? That's where a clipboard manager comes into play. A clipboard manager saves each item you have placed on the clipboard, allowing you to access any of those items later. The one I would recommend is Ditto. To install Ditto, just go to your Microsoft Store and search for Ditto. Find Ditto Clipboard and install it. Ditto is not available on Mac, but there seems to be a similar app called CopyClip. I'll put a link to it in the description. Back to Ditto. After installing, you will see a notification that prompts you to start Ditto. After that, the app shows in your system tray. I would recommend you first set up a shortcut to activate Ditto. In your system tray, right-click on the Ditto logo. Click on Options, go to the Keyboard Shortcuts tab, set up one or more shortcuts to activate Ditto. Activating means Ditto will bring up a list with all the elements you have copied to your clipboard. I'm using Ctrl and Circumflex, but you can use any combination you like. Another useful setting is making Ditto appear next to your mouse cursor. Go to the General tab and find Pop-up Position. In the drop-down list, choose Add Cursor. Click OK and you're good to go. The next time you need to paste something you have copied earlier, just use your shortcut and choose from the list with your arrow keys and hit Enter. Note that you can also use the numbers from 1 to 0 for the first 10 entries in the list. I like Ditto because once you have set it up, you don't need to worry about it. Just use your shortcut. It even changed my workflow in a few cases, where I will copy all individual items I need first and then switch to the target application. So all in all, it's been a great time saver for me. The next tool I want to recommend is also useful if you're copying text. PureText is a tool that removes all text formatting from the text you have copied. This comes in handy when you're pasting text to a tool like Articulate Rise or Adobe Captivate, where a paste text only option isn't available at all, or at least not as easy to access as in Word or Storyline. PureText lets you use a shortcut to paste text without formatting. To install PureText, just go to your Microsoft Store and search for PureText. PureText is not available on Mac, but there seems to be a similar app called Get Plain Text. I'll put a link to it in the description. Back to PureText. After installing and starting the app, PureText will show you a welcome window. As you can see here, the default shortcut or hotkey is WinV. From now on, you can use this to paste text without formatting. If you want to change the shortcut later on, right-click on the PureText icon in your system tray. We will do it now because I'm a fan of Ctrl-Decimal as a shortcut. And because there is one other option we need to set up so that we never have to worry about this app again, which is the option to automatically run PureText when Windows starts. This way you will always be able to use your shortcut. I find myself trying to use my shortcut even if I'm on different computers. So using my PureText shortcut has really become second nature to me. On to the last tool, which is SCORM Cloud. If you are working with an LMS, occasionally you may notice problems with the SCORM content you have uploaded. Maybe the course doesn't start the way you want it to, or the completion isn't tracked correctly. And you may be asking yourself, is this a problem in the LMS, or does it stem from the authoring tool? Now I really hope this never happens to you, but just in case, it is good to have ways to inspect your content. That's where SCORM Cloud comes in handy. You can check and see if your content is SCORM compliant. Just upload your content to SCORM Cloud and launch it. After viewing your content, you can check what your content communicates to your LMS via SCORM. SCORM Cloud doesn't provide the most intuitive user interface, but there are many tutorials available, so I won't go into too much detail here. One thing I will mention here is that in the trial version you have a storage limit of 100 MB. So you may have to do some editing if your published file exceeds this limit. I like SCORM Cloud because it has truly been helpful in troubleshooting for me a few times. So that's it. These were the 5 tools I wanted to show you. Did I miss anything? Which free tools do you use? Please let me know in the comments below. And if this video was helpful to you, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. And also, please consider subscribing to my channel if you want to see more videos like this. That's all for now. Thanks. Bye.